I'm the richest in the family, and you come back with that shoulder high. So if you can eliminate that state of heart from your children, they all come back simple. No matter the height they get to in life, they will always see this place as home. Hello guys, welcome once again to my channel. Today I'm going to be diving deep into other things that you need to do to maintain peace, love and respect in your home, especially among your children. Now, like I will always say, most of these tips are needed for young mothers who still have children just growing up. Of which, if you apply these tips, they tend to get better as they grow. But if these things are not being applied in the home, if it's not already a system, it's kind of get difficult when they grow, which affects their bonding. I know that some of us will relate to most of the things I'm talking about. Now, the next thing I'm going to be sharing in today's episode is eliminate anything that puts separation among the children and create systems that increase bonding. Yes, I'm going to give you an instance. When you have separate rooms for your children from when they're very tender, and these separate rooms have its televisions. In our time now, they have the television, they have their phones, they have their games, they have everything that they need in their individual rooms. Now, there's nothing that actually brings them out of that room. There's nothing. So, if you want to help your children more, to increase their respect and peace among them, they should always have a place of meeting. Now, in this place of meeting, sometimes there's going to be misunderstanding. And when there's misunderstanding, there will also be understanding. They'll begin to learn from an early phase how to manage their misunderstanding and how to not let the misunderstanding linger for long. Ask me how. If you permit them to have a bonding scenario than just always separating them. If you have 4 children, of course, let the 2 girls be in the same room, 2 boys in the same room. If there are 3 boys and a girl, let the 3 boys be in the same room. Why? One of the girl maybe be in a different room. Or one of the boys and the girl could be in the same room. Just find a way to split them. Or keep them together when they're still tender after all. They're just growing. They're just 3, 4, 5, 6. They're just growing. Now, the place of separating their rooms can come later when they've grown and they're like between the ages of 14, 15 and above. But when they're still very tender, don't be quick to separate them that much. Another thing is, if you separate them and then make their room have everything that they need, that the only thing that might bring them out of their room is to come and eat. It's not enough, because sometimes they could even come to the dining and they are not consumed by it. But to help them more is to create a system from when they are tender where they will always do what? Meet. So their rooms, they could have individual rooms, fine, but then that room should not have everything. Remember when you were growing up, sometimes you guys are expecting to watch a particular TV program. Let me take, for instance, 2 years of commotion, Papa Ajasco, if you're in Nigeria. These are TV programs that we loved as children. Super Story. Now, during those times, once it's time for the program, everybody in the house is trying to be fast to sit to watch that program. And as you are watching, you are gisting, you are laughing, you are imitating, and the rest of it. The bond there is increasing, the friendship is increasing, the peace atmosphere is increasing, the freedom to express oneself is increasing between your children. Now, if they have every comfort they need personally in their room, it is likely that even when one feels like, I want to go and talk to my sis, and comes to the sis room and she's consumed by something that she's watching personally, she may not even have time to attend to the other one that wants to ask a question. And you know what? With time, they will no longer have the interest of going to meet the other to get the things that they need because of too much separation. So even they're in different rooms, let their room not have all the comforts they need. Even if they have a television, it shouldn't have all the complete access to the internet now. For children just growing up, if they want to study, let it be that there's a study room. Sorry, they go to the study room and study. But when you come out, internet connections, you don't have them in your room. I don't know if you're getting it. If their room don't have all the comforts that they need, it brings them out. If it has it and they begin to enjoy this thing, this system from a younger age, it begins to create separation. It begins to make discussing with each other difficult. It begins to create a gap in having access to one another. It begins to make it difficult, and you are the peace, the understanding, the love that they should have is gradually what's evaporating. The bonding is gradually evaporating. So that's why you see some siblings, everybody on their own. Have you met siblings that were raised like different people? They didn't really bond together. So that is what it looks like. That you still have them in the same house and you create for them an environment where every man is settled on his own and doesn't need the other. The place of human connection cannot be eliminated. That is why I choose to talk on these things because I care so much about human connection. And human connection is what helps us to move. But the system is creating a big gap in human connection. And we forget that at the end of the day, we still need one another. So if you bring systems that break human connection in your home, it affects a lot. But if they have built a bond of communicating, gisting, telling each other things, now as they advance in age, as they grow and begin to have full access to these things, they will still have that desire to like, oh, I saw this thing today on Facebook. I saw this on WhatsApp. What do you think about this on Twitter? Why do they have that liberty of communication? Why is that system there? The system is there because they've already gotten used to an atmosphere where they blend together. They have an atmosphere where they cover for each other. They have an atmosphere where they fight. They have an atmosphere where they make peace after their fight. They have an atmosphere where they try to find out, okay, well, what are we going to do to avoid fighting? They have an atmosphere that is embracing one another. And then you are there as a mother to be the guard and the light. So you can now guide them. You can now be the light. And in that process, there will be special bond between your children. I remember back then I had an issue with my sister when I was much younger, and I just went to my brother's room. I was reading, I read all through today. I told my mom that I was not angry with her again. I'm not being malice, so I just went to read. Mom said, read that. See you reading, and then you read all through and you had nothing to say. Later that evening, I went back to my sister and we started talking, and that one passed. So my mother was there like a light to tell me that stop deceiving yourself, you were not reading. I don't want to come back here and see you guys like this anymore. So we had to work on it. We had to get back on our feet, okay? And then those systems, those things that were happening was making us to see what the other didn't like and how we can get better with one another, how we could adjust and how we could love one another. Like today, I can't imagine myself fighting with my sister. God forbid. It's not an option. And yes, we may disagree in some things, but we only view it as a disagreement, not a quarrel. So that is the thing that creating the system does. It eliminates some things and bring it to a place of, we had an argument, but it's not a quarrel, it's not something big that we need the whole world to come and resolve. We had an argument and then we resolve it. An argument could be, I don't agree with this, I agree with this, and that is it. So in that system, the love is there, the peace is there, and most importantly, the respect is there. That respect creates the room for understanding one another, and everybody's at peace. And you, the mother, you are on the other side enjoying. Finally, I'm going to be giving the last tip on creating that respect and love among your children. Now, this last tip I'm going to be sharing to you is something that you really need to take serious as your children grow. This is not really for when they are still very small. Now, train your children in a system whereby when you get to the gate, drop whoever you are, doctor, nurse, senator, president at the gate. Once you get to my gate, drop wherever you are and walk into my gate as that simple young man, young um boy, girl that I gave birth to, who is part of a simple family. I'm telling you out of experience, it worked in our home. and I'm using that hand to raise my own children. When you get to the door, drop all your credentials, all those Sama and the rest of it, all those big picture that you used to have, drop it at the gates. So when you come into my house, come in simple, come in free, come in relaxed. Be ready to ex- expect words from anybody. Expect that someone can joke with you, someone can jest, someone can do one thing, expect the liberty. Expect that you can do chores when need arise. Expect to help one another. Expect just bundle your your height and everything, that you're very tall and the other one is short. Bundle all those things and just keep them at one corner. When you bundle all of them, come in simple, come in free, come in relaxed. Whenever you get to the gate, come on, pick them up and move. So we know who you are. We know your certificates. We know your level. We know what you do, but we don't want to relate with you based on that. We only want to enjoy that your presence. We want to enjoy who you are actually. And then when need for what you know comes up, you will find that you're also freely expressing it, freely teaching it without having to add any ego to it. So it eliminates the place of I am this, you are this. What do you know? I'm a businessman. You're a common this. It eliminates all those things because right from when they were tender, right from when they are growing from their secondary, year one, year two, as right from their early phase, you made them understand that don't you dare walk into my house telling me what you've accomplished. Don't tell me I'm done with my head. I'm now this. I'm not a boss of my own. No, you drop it at the gates. I would give you your respect, but you don't walk into my house with anything other than the baby boy in my house. I would love you. I would respect your new age. I would follow you with where you are in your own level, but you're not going to give me attitude. Now, when you say that, when you create that kind of environment, you're not going to do it harshly actually, but you're going to create it as a system in your home and bring it to the knowledge of your children and keep working on it, keep talking about it, keep working with them, kind of crack jokes with them when they do anything like, guy, you're in my house, so calm down. Try to create that atmosphere. So when you create those kind of atmospheres, you tend to make your child to relax. And that relaxing makes them free as well to share the things that have been happening in their place of work. So they could freely share it when you guys are sitting down and gisting, and they could freely share things, their challenges. They could. I remember when I was in school, I had a challenge with my roommates. I didn't want to tell my family, but how did I even tell them? It was just we were all sitting down during the Christmas period. After one day, just listening, people were just gisting the things that happened in their school, in their life, in their place of work, and I was like, see what I'm passing through. What do you guys think? I didn't say anything about it all the while to any member of my family, but that environment made me free to see what I was passing through. So if you create a system where everybody comes back, when you come back, you come back with I'm an engineer, and you come back with that shoulder high, I'm the richest in the family, and you come back with that shoulder high. So if you can eliminate that state of heart from your children, they all come back simple. No matter the height they get to in life, they will always see this place as home. Do you know why? Home is a cozy place where you feel relaxed and at peace and can do things as you want. You can wear what you want to wear. Nobody's compelling you that you must dress like this, you must do this. You can just be who you want to be. That is what a home should be. So today, guys, if these tips have really been of help, I would love to hear your views in the comment section. So do not forget to like and subscribe. Join the family to get more. Bye for now.